So one of the things you have to do on every tile job is mark the tile for a cut. Obviously, you're going to have a ton of tile, which is all going to be full tiles. And then around the perimeter, or when you go through a doorway, or when you come up to an island or whatever, you're going to have to fit around that junction where the tile meets that area. Sometimes the door jamb, you might need a U-cut, or you might have some complicated cut that you're going to need multiple different angle lines on a tile. On a smaller tile, it's not really that hard, because I've shown in several videos how to mark tiles using another tile or with a template. In this particular job that I have had a large 24 by 24 inch tile surrounded by a wood look plank tile. And I had to go into closets, and I had to go into, into a doorway. And I only had, because the tile is 24 by 24, every tile is 4 square feet. So you don't have a lot of extra tiles, so you can't afford to make any mistakes. So when I have that kind of situation where I need to get it right the first time, and you don't have any tile to waste, you need to employ a method that's going to give you an accurate measurement of the cuts that need to go into the tile. And the way I do that many times, especially with larger tiles, don't really use it, like I said, with smaller tiles, but larger tiles like a 12 by, like a 24 by 24. I don't even usually do this with a 12 by 24. But with a 24 by 24, when you've got, or even bigger tiles, when you've got these cuts to make and you don't have any extra, or you have very limited extra, this is the way I do it. And I'm going to show you in this video how I do it. So keep watching, and I'm going to show you how I make a template, or if you want to call it a pattern, of a cut that needs to be made using a piece of cardboard and a straight edge, usually like a 2-inch straight edge you can use. A lot of times, depending on how complicated the job is, you might want to have some different lengths, but always the same width. I'm going to show you how to make a template to cut a big tile and make it fit the first time without any mistakes. Okay, so to make this work, you need a piece of cardboard, which is at least the size of the tile you're going to use. In this case, I have a 24 by 24 inch tile, and I'm just using the cardboard that the tile came out of, the cardboard box of the tile came out of. I'm just trimming, I'm putting the tile on top of the cardboard, and then I'm trimming it so it's exactly the size of the tile. So you can trim it with a pair of scissors, with a utility knife. Just make sure you have, when you cut it, that you have crisp, clean edges on the cardboard, so that you know exactly where the edges will end up. So once you've got it cut, you're going to put it on top of the tile, check to make sure it's an exact fit, and if it is, you're good to go. So once you have your cardboard cut, you're going to trim it so that it fits in the area that you need to mark your tile for. So you're just going to rough cut it in. It doesn't have to be precise, it's just going to be rough cut.
So once you've got a rough cut, you are going to position it exactly where the tile would go if this were the tile itself, with the proper grout space between the cardboard and the tile that is already in place. And once you got it cut into place, or beforehand, you're going to cut some like triangles. I like to cut triangles into the cardboard so that I can put a piece of tape on it and have it stay in place as I'm marking it. So once you've got your cardboard exactly positioned and so that it's not moving, you're going to get your straight edge. I'm using a 2-inch wide old piece of straight edge. It's just an aluminum straight edge. So I'm placing it so the edge of the straight edge opposite where I'm going to mark it is exactly where I want the tile to be cut. Then I'm putting a pencil line on the opposite edge. You'll see why in a second why I do it this way. Now this is just a very simple cut. It's just a U out of the tile around a door casing and jamb. So I'm marking it, and I'm placing the straight edge very carefully so that it's in the position where the tile needs to be cut. Then, as I said, I'm marking it on the opposite side. So once you've got all the marks you need, you pick it up, bring it over to your tile, and position it exactly onto the tile so the edges of the tile are exactly positioned with the edges of the cardboard. Once you've done that, just press down the tape so that the cardboard won't move. Place your straight edge on the line and then mark the opposite side so that you can mark where your tile needs to be cut. Make sure you leave clear, visible lines so that when you get on the wet saw to cut it, you're not gonna lines aren't gonna come off and mark the piece, the drop off that you don't need. So for this piece, I just went and I cut it, and now the tile's cut. Now I'm going to fit it in to make sure that it fits. And, you don't ever assume anything. So cut the tile when my lines were marked, I'm putting it in place and seeing if it fits exactly where it needs to be. And don't worry, I'm going to do another one, so and I'll show you how I cut it as well. So I'll also put a couple of links in the description and in the cards in the top right hand corner for other ways of marking tile. If you've got like diagonal cuts, you're doing a diagonal floor, or you have to cut around something, I'll show I'll put those links to a couple of other methods on how to do it. So the cut tile fits perfect, and so this tile is ready to be installed. If you need to make adjustments, go ahead and make adjustments by marking it where you need to be cut, and then go ahead and cut it, and then test fit it again. Usually, if you've done it right, it'll fit exactly the first time. So here I'm doing another one. It's just a partial tile. I just used that same piece of cardboard that I used for another template, and just cut off the section that I need. And again, you just rough fit it in so that you can position it exactly where it needs to be, and then you use your straight edge to mark the precise cuts.
Yeah, double check it. It's telling me 24 inches, so it should be 24 3/4. That might be fine. But if I put 3/4 on the door, it measures 24 7/8.
Again, place the straight edge where you want the cut of the tile to be, and then mark the opposite side. So I'm placing it under the jamb so that the jamb will cover it, and then I'm marking the opposite side. And do that for all the cuts that need to be done on that tile. All these jambs in this tile installation here, they're all going to replace, so that's why they're high, just in case you were wondering. Okay, so you got your pattern or your template or whatever you want to call it. Place it exactly on the tile so the edges align. Push down your tape so that it won't move. Now it's in place. Place a straight edge on the line that you marked on the cardboard, and then mark your tile on the opposite side. Do that for all the cuts. So once you got it all marked, take it outside and cut it, and make sure you cut exactly on your lines. So I'm using a 48-inch Ruby bridge saw to cut this tile. I'm just eyeing where the blade's gonna go, and then I'm gonna cut right through it, and then finish cutting the whole tile. Okay, so if this is the first time you've seen my videos, my name is Sal de Blasi. I'm a tile contractor in the Boston area, usually pretty much always on the North Shore. I have over 760 videos on my YouTube channel, so if there's something you need to know how to do regarding tile installation, you'll probably find it there. Please leave your comments in the comment section. I try to answer as many as I can. And if you want to check me out on Patreon, that'd be great. I also leave a bunch of links to tools and stuff on Amazon. If you need looking for something, I'll leave those links in the description as well. And most importantly of all, don't forget to subscribe. So test fit it, make sure it fits perfectly. If it doesn't, trim where it needs to be trimmed. And here we have another tile ready to go. So that's how you make a template for marking difficult cuts on large tiles. It'll work also on smaller tiles if you want to go that route. It will work pretty much every time if you do it correctly. So I hope you found it helpful.